Welcome to another edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary, the series that takes a critical look at Scripture, pointing out its numerous errors, contradictions, and fallacies. This program teaches a kind of Sunday school in reverse by giving you the biblical information that you should have heard but didn't. With millions of Americans hearing a totally one-sided presentation of the Bible, balance is greatly needed. Only when people are given both sides of an issue can a truly objective analysis be possible. And here to provide the alternative perspective is the editor of Biblical Errancy newsletter, Mr. Dennis McKenzie.
Welcome to the 29th edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary. We're pleased you've joined us. Our two prior programs focused on math and strictly scientific fallacies in Scripture. Another scientific arena that is all but mangled by biblical pronouncements is geography. The Bible contains geographical inaccuracies that appear to have come from the myopic minds of people who never ventured further than the city limits. Some of the more prominent examples are the following, and we'll consult historical atlases of biblical lands for confirmation. First, Matthew 2, 1-2 says, quote, "Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east." Unquote. Since the wise men were east of Jesus at the time, they were over in this area, how could an eastern star have informed them of anything, since Jesus was over here in Bethlehem? An eastern star would have been over in this region. It would have to have been a western star, that is, a star further out in this direction, to have informed them of any information regarding Jesus. Second, Matthew 4:8 says, quote, "Again the devil taketh him," that is Jesus, "to an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world." Unquote. How could anyone see all the kingdoms of the world from one spot? Throughout history, people have often cited this verse to prove the earth was flat. After all, the earth would have to have been flat for all of the kingdoms to have been seen at one time. If it were a round ball, that would have been impossible. You couldn't have seen the nations on the other side of the earth. Third, Matthew 19:1 says, quote, "It came to pass that when Jesus had finished these things, he departed from Galilee and came to the coast of Judea beyond the Jordan River." Unquote. Since the Jordan River is the eastern boundary of Judea, here is Judea, and here is the Jordan River. You can see the eastern boundary. There are no coast of Judea beyond the Jordan River. The coast of Judea is the Jordan River. Fourth, Mark 5:1 says, quote, "They went over to the other side of the sea." Now here they're talking about the Sea of Galilee. To the other side. "Into the country of the Gadarene," or Gerasene. Unquote. How could this have occurred, since Gadara and Gerasa are miles from the Sea of Galilee? They don't border it. Gadara is down here, and Gerasa is down here. It isn't on this particular map, but it is down here. Fifth, Matthew 4:12-13 says, quote, "When Jesus had heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and went down to Capernaum." Unquote. My goodness, this geography is poor. Nazareth is here. Capernaum is here. Nazareth is as much in Galilee, which is here, as is Capernaum. Both are in Galilee. If Jesus left Nazareth and went to Capernaum, he remained in Galilee, since both are in Galilee. How then could he have gone to Galilee? 6. Acts 1:12 says, quote, "Then returned they to Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a Sabbath day's journey," unquote. This must be false, because Olivet, that is the Mount of Olives, is not a Sabbath day's journey from Jerusalem, the distance you could travel on a Sabbath. Jerusalem is here. Olivet is just outside the city limits. It was just outside the wall of Jerusalem near the temple. Hardly a Sabbath day's journey. 7th, Acts 22:8 says, quote, "I," that is Paul, "answered, Who art thou, Lord? And Jesus said to me," quote, talking to Paul, "I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you persecute," unquote. Why would Jesus be called Jesus of Nazareth, or call himself Jesus of Nazareth, when Matthew 2:1 clearly says he was born in Bethlehem?